The Denver Nuggets entered the 2024-25 NBA season with tempered expectations. But what unfolded was nothing short of a roller coaster ride, culminating in a playoff run that shocked many around the league. Yet behind the scenes, the Nuggets flirted with a seismic decision that could have dramatically reshaped their future: the near acquisition of superstar Kevin Durant. A season of bold moves and unexpected outcomes. The Nuggets shocked fans and analysts alike early in the season by parting ways with head coach Michael Malone and general manager Calvin Booth, a move few anticipated given their previous success. The timing was particularly eyebrow-raising, just days before the regular season finale. Denver thrust David Adelman into the interim head coaching role, a gamble that many thought would sabotage their postseason hopes. Instead, Adelman rallied the troops, and the Nuggets charged into the playoffs with renewed fire. Their first-round matchup against the Los Angeles Clippers, a team that had been on a torrid run entering the postseason, quickly became a grueling 7-game war. Denver's resilience shone through, and against all odds, they outlasted the Clippers, silencing critics who predicted a swift exit. The Thunder challenge and a reality check. Advancing to the second round, Denver faced the Oklahoma City Thunder, a juggernaut that had already swept the Memphis Grizzlies in dominant fashion. The Thunder looked nearly unstoppable, and many expected them to roll through Denver as well. But the Nuggets refused to be overpowered. Led by the ever-dominant Nikola Jokic, they pushed the Thunder to the brink, pushing the series to a dramatic Game 7. Unfortunately for Denver, their lack of depth and star power beyond Jokic ultimately caught up with them, as the Thunder pulled off a narrow victory and moved on. The Kevin Durant Whispers. Here's where the story gets truly intriguing. Behind the scenes, Denver was aggressively exploring ways to bolster their roster and capitalize on the momentum they built during the season. According to top NBA insider Shams Charania, the Nuggets emerged as a surprise suitor for Kevin Durant during the offseason trade talks. Imagine that. Kevin Durant in Denver, pairing with Nikola Jokic to form a duo capable of dominating the Western Conference for years to come. But it wasn't a simple transaction. The Nuggets would have needed to offer a hefty package to match salaries and appease the Brooklyn Nets, Durant's team before the Rockets deal. And that likely meant risking their prized young core. Jamal Murray, the electrifying guard and a key offensive piece, would have been on the table. More realistically, Michael Porter Jr., whose combination of size, shooting, and potential has been tantalizing for Denver fans, would have been the centerpiece. Alongside those two, young talents like Peyton Watson, Julian Strawther, and Christian Braun would likely be involved to sweeten the deal. The stakes were monumental for Denver. Pursuing Durant wasn't just about acquiring another star. It was about sending a message. The Nuggets recognized the urgency to build around Jokic, arguably one of the best players in the world, to maximize his prime years before the window closes. Adding Durant, a proven Finals MVP and one of the most lethal scorers in NBA history, would have vaulted Denver into immediate championship contention and shifted the balance of power in the West. Unfortunately for Denver fans, the trade never materialized. Durant was ultimately shipped to the Houston Rockets, a move that sent shockwaves through the league but left Denver back at square one in their quest for roster reinforcement. What now for the Nuggets? The offseason is now the ultimate test for the Nuggets front office and ownership. With Malone and Booth gone, and Adelman's interim tag still hanging, Denver must rebuild not just the roster, but the organizational identity. The Nuggets' priorities are clear: add depth, develop their young core, and keep Jokic engaged and motivated. The West remains a brutal gauntlet, packed with star-studded rosters and hungry contenders. Without meaningful upgrades, Denver risks falling short once again, a prospect that could have grave consequences. Nikola Jokic, the franchise's cornerstone, has already proven his patience, but his loyalty is not infinite. The team's inability to push deeper into the playoffs or snag that elusive NBA title may eventually push Jokic to consider other options if Denver fails to surround him with the talent necessary to compete at the highest level. Depth is the key to survival. One glaring weakness for the Nuggets this past season was their lack of reliable secondary scorers and defensive stoppers. Aside from Jokic, the roster was thin on star power. The absence of a true number 2 scorer or a lockdown defender exposed Denver in critical moments, especially against elite teams like the Thunder.